Hey there, Guardians. My name is Sable, and today we're going to break down why so many people claim that Destiny is dying and what Bungie can do to improve the state of the game. Obviously, Destiny is not dead. However, you would be lying to say that the game is in a great place right now. Between repetitive seasonal content, dead game modes, and awful balancing, Bungie have caused a so called rift between themselves and the community. To start with, PvP is in probably one of its worst states the game has ever been in. The sandbox is never truly balanced. The rewards for PvP are non existent. We don't have enough maps in the game. The team balancing is awful. I know we have connection based and loose skill based matchmaking. However, I think in a casual setting like Control or Clash, we shouldn't have skill based at all. Skill based in casual modes is never a good thing in any game. Now, ranked, that's completely different. I understand why they have skill based and ranked and why it's there to, keep people in check. I completely understand that, but in casual, they should have it to where it's just connection based and everybody's just trying to have fun. I understand that some people are going to complain that they die a lot in casual, or some people are just sweating too bad. But the thing is, if you try to separate the pool of players, you're not gaining any skill off of that, anyways. I feel like if you play PvP, you're playing for self improvement and just improvement of the game in general. Um, Now, in terms of ranked, I think that the skill based matchmaking right now, well, the loose skill based, is entirely wrong. I don't know if they have just messed up along the line somewhere or if they're lying about certain things, but the skill base feels extremely unbalanced in Destiny at the moment. It feels like, let's say, for example, if you go into trials and you're a two stack and the random comes along, let's say you and your buddy are diamond two, but the random it gives you is in bronze. And you end up losing because the other team's random might just be better than yours. That is a huge problem that I know I've had myself in trials specifically. I feel like they need to just. I don't really know how to fix trials because it's a tricky one, but maybe if they reintroduce the flawless pool and they made it to where it's either threes or solos because two stacks doesn't work. It just messes up the economy of trials. Um, I understand that might suck for some people, but it would definitely help overall if we dropped the duo queue from trials. You either queue as a three stack or a solo, and if you're a solo, you find other solos, because that's the main thing messing up matchmaking right now is people duo queuing because it messes up the economy for solos and threes. Um, Now, in terms of actual ranked and not just trials, I think the rewards definitely need to be a little bit better because there's no reason to grind for anything in competitive outside of the emblem. You get the emblem and you just don't touch it the rest of the season. Maybe they could add more game modes to ranked. Preferably, let's say they add a game mode where it's no abilities at all, it's just gunplay. And that could be good for people who don't, you know, uh, really appreciate PvP, like all the ability spam and things like that. I know some people wish there was just gameplay or gunplay in Destiny. They should definitely introduce a mode like that, I think, and have it be optional for ranked. I'm not saying like force people to play that, but definitely give people that option who are like really good at the game, but it's more with their guns than their abilities. I feel like that's not a terrible thing to have in PvP at the moment. We also haven't had new maps in a very long time, which isn't doing it any favors at the moment. But Joe Blackburn did confirm on his Twitter a few days ago that we are going to be getting a map pack that's going to drop 5 maps at once, which that is a huge step forward. We appreciate that. So I won't complain too much about the map scarcity at the moment. But if we are talking about game modes that desperately need some love, it's Gambit. Gambit is in a state right now where they either need to overhaul the entire game mode or just take it out. It's clear that they don't want to focus on Gambit, and players aren't playing it anyways. Maybe just make it a whole new game mode, like the Reckoning. Bring that back, or have it as a side option. But if you're not going to give it any love at all, just take it out. I know they said they're adding Lucent Hive and bringing a map back, but that's not going to bring players back into the Gambit playlist. They need to give players more incentives to play Gambit or make it more engaging to bring players in. Because at the moment, Gambit just isn't it. No one wants to play it. The developers don't want to mess with it. So if it's already in such a bad place and you guys remove content like crazy anyways, just remove it, replace it. Like, you clearly aren't putting enough care into the mode to get anyone excited about it. I mean, when's the last time you heard somebody get excited about Gambit? Like, yeah, I'm sure there's a couple people out there, but it's not enough to warrant keeping it around if you're not going to do anything to it. Let's talk about PvE for a minute as well. They said that all their focus right now is on PvE, or most of their focus. I will say the raids and dungeons always hit it out of the park. They always do a really good job with that. The DLC missions, like when a new expansion drops, is always really great. But they drop the ball with the seasonal content every time. And that's because the seasonal content is all the same. Everybody would agree with that, right? It's the same thing. You load in for the season, you go talk to somebody at the Tower of the Helm, you go run the seasonal activity twice, you probably go on a planet and do a lost sector, and then you go back to the Helm or Tower and listen to somebody speak again. And that's all it is until next week. And you have to do that on a week-by-week basis for really no payoff outside of a couple of dialogue pages and a lore book. They really need to change the seasonal model for the game. People are definitely getting tired of it. It's causing burnout for sure, because people are now logging in at the start of the season, and then it quickly gets dry after the first couple weeks, and then people come back the last week, and then they'll catch up on their story, or whatever they want to do. They definitely need to change it up, maybe come up with something different, or just like let us do all the seasonal missions in one day and then add some other incentives and stuff to keep coming back to the seasonal content, like give us some shards or alloys or something. But right now, seasonal content's bad. No one is really going to argue with that. They need to overhaul that as well, because it's the same thing every season. Or at least bring back the seasonal content, like the game modes, and let us play those. I remember in Season of the Splicer, that Hack the Bank game mode, that was really fun for a little bit. I used to do that while I was just bored. And I could just, turn my brain off, listen to music, and do that, and it would be really fun. I would really like for some of the seasonal modes to come back, or like the Black Armory, or stuff like that. Stuff to really keep us busy in the dry times and like keep us playing. Maybe they could even do a horde mode in PvE, like you fight endless waves of enemies, and then there's a boss at the end, and you just keep going until you die, and then however long you lasted, you get rewards based on that. Let's say you go 5 waves, you beat all the bosses, then you died, you'll get a shard or something. That could be fun. I feel like that wouldn't be crazy hard. Don't have to make a special map or anything. Just put it on one of the Gambit maps or something, Maybe you could even do that with Gambit. Maybe make it a side game mode. That would be a good idea, though, I feel like. Now, how can Destiny really improve? I am of the mindset that Destiny has the most potential of any game out right now. It's extremely good. You're not going to find another game that does what Destiny does. The way the game feels, the movement, the fluidity, the weapons, the sound design, there's nothing like it. I don't think there's an actual Destiny killer on the market, aside from Destiny. I think Destiny's the only game that'll kill Destiny. And it's because the developers are really dropping the ball in some places. Where the game stands right now, I really don't know where the game's going to go after the final shape. If they do anything, who's to say players are going to stick around for that? I mean, people are already soured out at the moment. Are they really going to stick around after the final shape? Are you guys taking a break after final shape? Like, what are the plans? How are you going to get us pulled back in? Are you going to do Destiny 3? Players probably aren't going to respond to that well. When you took all of our stuff away in Destiny 2 at the start, people left the game, and it was really bad at the start. You took away special weapons, things like that. And nobody really wants to start over because 9 times out of 10 it's just going to be sold back to us, right? Like all the content we have right now. And that's why a lot of the players are mistrusting Bungie at the moment, is because when you take things away and then you repackage them and sell it to us for $14.99, it's not good because we've already bought it once and we've already experienced this old content, and you're trying to sell it back to us, and that's borderline offensive to the player base. Things that Bungie needs to do in today's showcase, they really have to knock it out of the park with the trailer, which I have no doubt that they'll do. The trailer is going to be a banger, whatever they drop. We need to be reassured of the server stability. Servers have also been at a really bad place recently. It seems like every other week, or every other day, servers are going down, or something's broken, or something's being disabled, or something needs to be changed. And I understand that running a game is hard, okay? I'm not going to sit here and chastise any of the people who crunch their hours at Bungie to try to make the game as stable as it can be, but it might be time for an engine upgrade. Maybe take a year off and upgrade the Tiger engine, or switch to a different engine. Maybe drop last gen. A lot of games are doing that now. What I think the best move would be personally is to drop 2 from the title. Just call it Destiny, okay? Drop last gen, merge the games. Just make it all one game, bring all the content over from Destiny 1. Like, yes, the download's going to be massive. I completely understand that. But it would be a better game overall. You wouldn't have people complain about old content being sold back to them because, it would all be one game. You would have everything from Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, and you can continue to add on to it. Make it a true live service game. Get rid of the seasonal model. Make it a subscription model. Pay $100 a year and you get all this content. Do it like World of Warcraft even could, work in Destiny as a subscription model. We have so much content that you are charging for now that I feel players might feel like they're getting a better deal from a subscription service than paying seasonally, especially when you raise the price of silver and stuff at the moment. They also need to communicate transparency with us. I feel like a lot of people at Bungie are not very transparent with the community. We don't get a lot of communication, and when we do, it's very tone deaf. The state of the game was a big example of this. When we were complaining as players about the game being in a bad state, in the state of the game, Bungie pretty much tells us, oh no, the game's not on fire, we're fine, nothing's wrong at all. Didn't really address anything. The state of the game was just a huge nothing burger. You might as well have not even put it out, to be completely honest with you. So maybe tell us more. Like, you need to communicate with us more. Maybe not even through tweets or like the TWAB or anything like that. Maybe have some members stream or, communicate with us personally on like live streams or like upload clips to, Twitter or Facebook or whatever. Just to really like communicate with us a little bit and not leave us in the dark as much. Maybe even tease some things, get us excited so that we don't have to really depend on leaks to generate hype for the game. You guys can generate hype on your own. Like, if you know that the leaks are out there and we're, probably going to be exposed to them anyway, tease some of the things. Get everyone excited for your game. Leaks don't necessarily have to ruin your game. If something leaked out and you want to like trick the community and make them think, oh, will they, won't they? Tease us with something crazy, like throw us off guard, get everybody excited, get everybody talking. Another thing I really want from the state of the game personally is just security that you care about the player base, because at the moment it feels like Bungie's resources are going to different places than Destiny, and Destiny is Bungie's bread and butter. I'm sure Marathon is going to be a great game. I'm probably going to play it myself, but I don't think Marathon's really going to outperform Destiny or really do even a fraction of what Destiny's going to do. And I've seen the Destiny community. They are a die-hard fan base, and you should really listen to them. People in the Destiny community are passionate, like beyond passionate, to the point where if you even have a hot take about the game, people will like send you death threats and like get ready to fist fight you. Like they love your game and they will defend you, but they won't defend you forever. That's the problem. So you really need to try to earn the trust of your players back, because at the moment it's severely lacking, and we do feel as if we are not loved. Um, but that's all I really have to say in this video. Uh, maybe I'll make another video following up after the video or after the stream today. I might even stream it, watch it over on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Sable. Yeah, so let's see where the Lightfall reveal goes today, or not Lightfall, sorry, Final Shape reveal. Sorry, I'm running on like 2 hours of sleep for recording those. Let's just see how it goes. Let's have high hopes, and let's just stay optimistic that Bungie can really make us fall in love with Destiny 2 again, because it is a game that we love and we want to love, but it's hard to love at the moment. And that'll be all for this video. Bye, guys.